So today's Thursday and Tony and Tess are supposed to fly in tonight from California. But first thing this morning, he still had boxes being dropped off with parts for the Mustang. Now the plan is for me to pick them up at the airport at 6 o'clock. And then hopefully this evening we're going to try and get some testing done with CJ's Mustang and Billy's S10. We're just praying that this weather moves out. Meanwhile, in the shop, Miss Harley's out there stacking and folding merch, and the boys are slowly making progress on getting Billy's S10 all put back together. We've been having some problems pulling the carb hat stud out of the main body on the 750. So we used the 1050 to warm the engine up so that we can retorque the copper head gaskets while I make repairs to the 750. I'd really like to try this carburetor sometime, but I don't feel comfortable taking it out and putting a bunch of boost to it until we take it to the track, pull plugs, and get it dialed in perfectly. So for right now, we go ahead and bolt the 750 carburetor back on the truck, and I get ready to head towards the airport to go pick up Tony and Tess. As I head west towards Columbus, the skies start to clear, and I say a little prayer that our test spot will dry out in time for us to get some testing in tonight. Now this is the third time I've gone in to pick up Tony and Tess from the airport, and we're starting to get our timing down pretty good. I literally rolled up as they were walking out the door, and when we got back, CJ was waiting for us in the driveway, and Robbie took Tony and Tess down to Billy's shop to get the white car out of storage, while me and CJ worked out some timing issues on Raggedy Ann. The ignition timing was varying with RPM, and it shouldn't be. So when Tony and Tess got back, we all kind of put our heads together to try and figure out what in the world is going on with Raggedy Ann's ignition timing.
Yeah!
Now it seems like CJ's been struggling with this car for a long time, and I explained to Tony when they were coming out from California that I'd really like to help CJ while he's here. So collectively we're going to put all of our experience to the test tonight and see if we can't get CJ's old Mustang straightened out. While we were waiting for the road to dry up, Miss Vicky went and got pizza for everybody so we could have some dinner, and since it looks like Christmas out in the shop, she put bows on all Tony's boxes of parts for the Mustang. So anyway, after we all got done eating, CJ went out and started putting a tune-up in the Mustang, and Billy started getting his S10 ready so that we can make a couple test hits on it as well. Now the S10 has been stuck at the same ET level for a long time, mostly due to the converter and stator package that we've been running. Although the truck has dump valves, we haven't been using them because the converter is so loose, there's no need. So now that we've got this tighter converter, we need to figure out our dump valve percentages, our timing, our shock settings, figure out how much ignition timing we need to pull and when, and Billy's going to have to completely reconfigure his boost ramp because changing this converter affects everything. The very first pass on this completely new tune-up was about 4/10 slower than our fastest pass ever down this road, but that's okay. We've got something to work with without any wheel speed. Now we can start moving forward and making the truck faster with each pass. Now, it's time to bring out the Mustang. This old Mustang has been CJ's main race car for many years, and it's always been a small block Ford nitrous car. However, recently he's had the car apart from one end to the other, and there's bound to be some gremlins, and it didn't take us long to find the first one. While CJ had the car apart, he had switched a couple of relays, and one of them was for the nitrous kit. This relay problem caused the fuel solenoids to open prematurely and flood the engine on the trans brake. Luckily, CJ was able to pinpoint the problem and correct it in the car and complete his first test pass. There was only one problem. The Mustang left the starting line really good on the nitrous progressor. But as the nitrous ramp came in, you could hear the engine get unhappy in a hurry. Now I remember that Wednesday night, CJ had the Mustang down at Trails making motor passes to dial the carburetor in. And after jetting the carburetor up 4 jet sizes, the car picked up some considerable ET in miles an hour. Tony and I both felt that CJ had been running an excessive amount of fuel pressure to cover up a lean condition with the carburetor. So we pulled 3.5 pounds of fuel pressure out of the nitrous system, CJ put a new set of plugs in, and he and Jess got the car ready to make another test hit. With the ignition timing and the fuel curve on point, the Mustang is back better than ever. Within 3 passes, CJ's Mustang has gone almost as fast as Billy's S10 and Tommy's Falcon has ever been on this spot. If he didn't have to pedal it to keep the front end down, the car would have been 0.2 faster, so that resets the bar. We now know that this road can hold 0.2 faster ETs than we've ever been. Although we've always felt we could go about 0.2 faster on this road, we've never been pushed to do it, until now. Helping your friends get faster ultimately helps you get faster. So Friday night there's a little shootout going on, not far from our place, on the streets, and Limpy's going to be flagging. Billy, Tommy, and CJ are all planning on going, and we intend to take the Mustang with us if we can get this thing all put back together. They need a few more parts and pieces from Jegs before we can finish putting all this stuff together on the car. So we hop in the Suburban and head towards 11th Avenue. Unfortunately, Uncle Terry wasn't there that day. However, store manager Craig Michaels was going to take care of us and get Tony and Tess set up with everything they needed. While we're in at Jegs, there's a flurry of activity going on back at the shop. The girls are all getting merch folded and getting ready for the weekend, and Uncle Rob is loading up nitrous bottles to have them filled just in case we get into any shenanigans with the streetcars over the weekend. It's always better to have and not need than need and not have. So as we're just getting back from Jegs, Tommy's filling up fuel jugs full of methanol for the street racing tonight, and Tess and Tony hop right on this Mustang to try and get all the work done on it before it's time to leave for the street races in about 2 hours. While they're inside the shop working on the Mustang, Tommy and Billy are busy outside hooking up the trailer and loading up the race cars. The plan right now is to load the S10 and the Falcon on Billy's tandem car trailer, and then if Tony and Tess get their Mustang ready, we'll put it on a single open trailer behind the Suburban, and we'll all head down together. But there's still yet one more logistical hurdle to cover. I need to take the big 50-foot trailer down to National Trails and drop it off to get our pit area set up for Saturday's Uncaged race before we can leave for the street races later tonight. All right, Grandpa Hollywood.
Sure.
Explain yourself with this Mustang fiasco. Ford problems, exactly.
Distributor and the front problems.
Yep,
Oh, gosh.
that's exactly what it is. So the Mustang's not going with us tonight,
No,
but will it be ready for tomorrow?
I'll force it through.
It's gonna be a late night, isn't it?
It might be a little sketchy.
I'll figure something out.
So what's the problem? Like
No
the
sleep.
clutch doesn't work right, or what?
I think the tolerance are stacked up between the new flywheel and the new, everything's new. And I think there's just a few thousandths that's not correct, which I don't have enough time right now because we're heading out to like try
Right.
different weight combinations. I may need to shim the clutch, which I remember doing that on the Mare years ago. 25,000 shims underneath the pressure plate, brought
Yeah.
the fingers out, and
Yeah.
Now, do we have those shims?
I can just use washers. I think I measured 20 thousandths washers before,
Okay.
and 20 or 25, and it worked. So
We might have the shims for the brakes if we don't use them all.
I'll just I just
But
use
those are
washers.
actual shims. It
Yeah, but I
makes
use
me
wa-
feel better.
I did wheelies
Instead of
past
just
you.
wash- Yeah.
I did wheelies past
I
you
know.
with like Taiwanese shims behind there. It was fine.
So basically, when you guys get home from the shenanigans tonight, you're probably gonna have to pull a late nighter and
Yeah.
continue it.
And I don't think we'll wake up early.
I'm not every
Probably
day
not.
I'm here. I look worse and worse and worse.
So unfortunately, Tony's Mustang's not coming with us tonight. But that's okay, because this road is really tight and probably not the best situation for a stick shift car anyway. Now this is one of the best spots in the state of Ohio for street racing, and we've raced here many times before. But to keep everyone on a level playing field, they moved the starting line off the rubber, which is perfectly fine for us, because we've been testing on virgin asphalt for the last 2 weeks. Now there's some pretty heavy hitters here tonight and some really fast cars. Some of these guys have made quite a few hits on this road and some of them have never been here, which is why they moved the starting line ahead. And as the sun begins to set, we get closer and closer to finding out what team is best at reading the surface and tuning and power managing to get down the road faster than anyone else. On a road this narrow, there is literally zero room for error. It's races like this that separate the men from the boys and the people that just talk about it from the people who are actually about that life. Outside of absolute pure luck, the only chance you've got of getting through first round on this road is experience that you can only get from being out in the streets. And if I had to bet, I'd say you're probably going to have to get through Billy, Tommy, or CJ Buckner if you want to get your hand in the money jar tonight. Now, as I've mentioned before, one of the most difficult parts of street racing is reading the surface and how quickly the road takes rubber. But there are many other elements, and one of the most important is spectators and how bad they trash the starting line that everyone's racing on. And for me, that was a major concern, because the grass that everyone was tracking out on the starting line sticks not only to the rubber on the road, but the tires as well. And if the driver and the tuner aren't on the same page, the wheel speed can take off early in the run and can certainly cause major problems as the boost ramp closes in. The Camaro was obviously on a more aggressive boost ramp than the Falcon. However, the windshield fogged up and the driver accidentally drove off the edge of the road at the finish line, causing him to spin the car out, cross behind Tommy, and crash in the cornfield. These guys have their own YouTube channel called Clocked Out Fab, and they're very good friends of ours. If you'd like to see the results of this, go subscribe and watch the video on their channel. The car sustained heavy damage as it went out into the cornfield. However, luckily it did not roll over and the driver walked away without a scratch. Watching this unfold from the starting line was terrifying. However, once we realized Kayla was going to be okay, it was time for Billy to come up and see if we could get the S10 through first round. Spoiler alert, no one betting against my kids would get paid the rest of the night. In round 2, Tommy got paired up with Old School, the 67 Ford Fairlane, driven by Cody Myers from the Dayton Mafia. Cody had some problems in the right-hand lane, giving Tommy the win. Next up was Billy versus Johnny Cash out of the Mac TV group. The Johnny Cash Black Mustang is extremely fast, but unfortunately, the tune-up was just a little bit too hot. In round 3, Billy and Tommy drew each other, and Tommy struggled to do a burnout in the left-hand lane. The Falcon had a hot tune-up in it and experienced excessive wheel speed, but the S10 went down straight as an arrow. So that landed Billy in the final with CJ. Billy had made a really clean pass against Tommy, but we felt he was going to need a little bit more to get with CJ. Billy looked me right in the eye and said, "Dad, I've got it taken care of. Don't worry." So after Billy beat CJ in the final, we all came back to the house, went straight to bed, and then got up Saturday to go to Uncaged at National Trail Raceway. Tony and Tess got up early and came out to finish up the Mustang.
What you doing, Tess?
While Tess is helping Tony with the clutch cable, I start working out some logistical issues that we've got this morning.
It's your job to drive the scooter down. I'm leaving it up to you.
Tommy didn't look too thrilled about having to drive the scooter down to the track in the rain. The scattered showers this morning are leaving everyone scratching their head as to what to do next, because one minute the sky's clear and the next minute it looks like it's going to thunderstorm like crazy. But according to the weather apps, this weather's going to move out and it's going to be nice the rest of the afternoon. So we get our pit area set up, and then I go up the starting line to take a look at the surface, and I run in to the CEO of Ohio Grudge Racing himself, Mr. Josh Robinson. Josh is responsible for creating and promoting these backward races at National Trail Raceway. The events are called Uncaged, and they're starting to attract a lot of different types of cars and racers from all over the country, including Mr. TJ York and his 1955 Chevrolet Gasser known as the Greenhorn Hillbilly. So obviously no prep isn't just for street racers anymore.
What do you think? Like it? Yes.
Even Addie's here today helping us in the booth, and she signed her first autograph. She had a great time at Uncaged, and I even took her for a ride in my Malibu.
Well, kid, was it good?
I like it.
That's a smile.
But Addie wasn't the only one that got to go for a ride in my Malibu. This little guy lives right next to A1 Auto Parts down in Buckeye Lake, and he's the brother of Thing 2, one of Mark's helpers. He was pretty excited to get to make a couple test hits in the Malibu with me, because he hears this car pull into A1, and he calls his brother at the store every time he hears the car go by.
What do we have here?
Co-conspirator.
He looks pretty ornery.
He is on.
Did you give him a gentle ride or did you launch it?
I gave him a little shot.
Do you want to tell everybody who he is?
Who is this kid anyway?
He is
Thing
Thing
2's
2's
brother.
little brother. Thing 2, right here's Thing 2. Thing 2 brought his little brother. Thing 2's gonna be jealous. He hasn't had a ride.
Oh yeah. I haven't even got to go for a ride. Well, hop in here.
Needless to say, we had a great time, and Ohio Grudge Racing even gave away a Traxxas RC drag car to one of the little kids that entered a giveaway. Tommy ended up going to the semifinals and faced Jasper Graham, won that, and then went to the finals with CJ Buckner. That video will be coming out later this week on Street Racing Channel, so be sure to watch for that. So that pretty much wrapped up our Saturday, and then Sunday, we got up, had breakfast, and Tony and Tess took the Malibu down to Starbucks to get coffee. By the time they got back, David and Sam from Young and Boosted were here in the shop to visit with us for a few minutes, and I went out to work on this air conditioning problem in the Malibu. I received a complaint from Tony and Tess that the air conditioning was working intermittently, and that is unacceptable in my street car. So I took the Malibu in town, went for a test drive, put some new wiper blades on it, and then me and June Pup headed back to the shop to try and get out from underneath these rain clouds. Miss Vicky was back there doing some inventory on merch, showing off some new stuff. I got into my RC trucks for a little bit, and Tony and Tess worked on the Mustang until it was time to go to dinner. We all jumped in the streetcars and headed towards Polaris, up at the north end of Columbus. Tony and Tess drove the white Mustang, I drove the Malibu, and Billy drove the Canyon Red 85 GT. We stopped at Sheetz on the way into Columbus to top off the E85 and then headed up to Cheesecake Factory for dinner. So what are you up to now, Junior?
We are doing some maintenance on the Falcon.
Maintenance?
Maintenance. It needs a lot of it. I can't believe this thing's still beating up on people with how bad it is.
Valve springs are wore out and the exhaust system was cracked over here.
Yeah, our cam sensor only had just a stud holding it on, no nut.
Oh. Cam sensors.
The cam sensor down here has no nut holding it in.
The cam sensor has no nut. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So we're going to put valve springs on. We're going to fix this exhaust leak, and hopefully this thing will come back to life, which it still runs
fucking
good.
People up, so I mean, it's just going to fuck people up even worse now.
Yeah. All right, let me go here and see what your mom's up to.
Did I just hear Billy say something about maintenance?
You did. He's in there doing maintenance on the Falcon.
Well, guess what?
What?
We have our maintenance stickers. He needs some of these.
Oh my God.
They're here. Look at that.
Next service due, maintenance is important.
Yep.
With Uncle Bucko
Bucko.
on there.
Echo maintenance. So you could put the mileage or the date that your next service is due.
Are
And
these
look-
decals?
These are decals. We also have static cling on these.
Okay.
Check out these.
Nice.
And it left a space at the bottom where you can write in another thing. But you could put the date or the mileage, whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, so we are inspired by Uncle Bucko to do better, right?
No, not at all.
We're gonna try. So we have these online now in a 5-pack. So you can get a 5-pack of either these or the clings.
Okay.
So they're live on there now.
All right.
Don't forget we've got the dog bandanas now. And new, we have little kid shirts. This is like a toddler size.
Mm-hmm.
We have youth small and youth medium.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute. What?
Is that it?
Well, you told me I wasn't going to be allowed to give any race details yet.
All right. So Tony and Tess have gone home.
Yep.
It's been hectic, crazy,
The
insanity.
weekend just went poof, gone.
Like it was Thursday and now it's Tuesday.
Right.
And I haven't uploaded any videos.
Slacker.
So I'm probably going to catch hell in the comments. But it's just been too busy around here.
Well, and we have to let Tommy get their street racing channel video out.
Yeah, when's your video going to be done? Oh, here he is. Thomas.
Well, he got the first video up.
When's the next video going up?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What will it be of?
Well, they want me to upload out of order, and I don't really want to.
I would. It's all right. Well, we got into some shenanigans early this morning before Tony and Tess
Things
left.
in chronological order, though, of how everything has happened.
You need to speak up or nobody's going to be able to hear you and I'm going to catch hell in the comments.
No. You need to get a mic.
There it is. Under the bus. You just chucked me straight under the bus. What's going on, Scrappy Doo?
So look, there's 2 more. We're gonna upload 3 times this week, and that's really hard to do. Like,
Not for me.
But
yeah,
for
but
you guys.
you don't have 13 cameras that have 13 memory cards that have 34 batteries and 34 chargers.
I know. By execution and by plan. Everything is done on my phone, so it's simple and efficient. But I lack credibility, intelligence,
It's fine.
and
Okay.
and video quality.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's all good.
They're just trying to. They want me to upload the street racer from last night, and it's going to take away from my
No.
good weekend.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
We
not.
gotta get right to Saturday. Do Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday.
Nonsense.
the
Why
Saturday
are
video
you
can go up
here?
Wednesday.
Why are you here talking? Why aren't you editing and getting it up?
Because they're here, and I didn't want to miss this. And
Are you helping?
I bought a welding table. I'm gonna borrow your dually.
Oh. Yeah, I went ahead and unhooked it for you out there. It's sitting out there ready to go.
Thank you.
I would appreciate it though if you'd top it off with a little bit of fuel.
That's $200.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Like $60.
Okay, so look, we have the Saturday video. I think I'm gonna put it up tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Friday we can put up the street shenanigans video.
All right.
Or I can do it like the other way around. It doesn't matter. But
I think we need to get right to what happened Saturday.
I don't even, because that video, I just want it to be done and over with, and then because I look forward. Don't get me wrong, I look forward to editing the video from last night. It's gonna be hilarious, but I want to get the other one out of the way first, so I don't have to think about it.
So there it is. Y'all are going to have to wait till tomorrow to see what happened on Saturday.
Then
Correct.
You gotta wait till Friday to see what happened last night.
You need to start
This morning.
talking in terms of days, because when you say tomorrow, people, by the
I
time
said
you post
Wednesday.
it, yeah. Say the day.
Nothing's ever good enough for you, is it?
No, I'm just so that people know what day.
Wednesday will be the next Street Racing Channel video.
I hate when he puts the camera right in
I know, he's
front.
so close.
I know. I think.
Well, I'm trying to
Why
make
are
sure
you
people
so
can
close?
hear.
Well, what you do? This is what he does. He uses the 0.5 lens and puts it right in your
Right
face,
there.
so then your face is like all
That has the
distorted.
best microphone. The 0.5 lens has the best microphone.